to smoke old stogies I have found.
Alright guys, welcome back to another Stogie Lad cigar review. A little change of pace from the Cubans I've been smoking recently. We have the RVGN Short Torpedo. This is a very unique cigar, both brand-wise and just, I mean, as you can see by the shape, it's very unique. This was sent from Oliver, one of the kind guys of RVGN, or German Engineered Cigars. I'm going to try to pronounce it as best as I can. RVGN, something along those lines. It should be something along those lines. It basically means like smoking pleasure or smoking joy in German. They're a decently new launch brand, really modern sort of outlook. Yeah, they put their cubic capacities on their bands. They stick their Twitter on the bands there. As you can see, very nice design, very modern, and I would say this format is extremely modern as well. It's a really short torpedo, as you can see. It's like 105 millimeters or something long only. But as it's very tapered, you're probably gonna have to cut off quite a bit. I'm gonna start by just cutting off a little bit, and that Cigar cutter delivers as always. And I'm gonna see, with these kinds of cigars, you have the luxury of taking off as much as you want until the draw is good enough. Okay, the draw actually looks very tightly packed, very well rolled. They sent us these cigars very kindly for us to review. Keep in mind, it's not a paid review or anything, so I'm going to be objective. I had their half Corona, posted a review on our Instagram. You guys might have seen it, and I actually really enjoyed it. Really loved it. Then I had their Toro, and for a number of reasons, it wasn't really my favorite. A little more spicy than what I usually enjoy, just out of personal preference, a little too full. And it's a huge cigar. It's like a 58 ring gauge by 160 millimeters or something, which is also like a bigger cigar than I usually smoke. Now this is also quite a bit thicker than what I usually smoke, but it's very short, so it shouldn't be like a crazy long cigar. That Toro smoked for like 2 hours. Along with their ingenuity on the design point of view, this has some very interesting tobacco in it. It is a Ecuadorian hybrid wrapper. Now the Ecuadorians are so good at creating wrappers nowadays. It's not a Connecticut though, which is what they're really quite famous for. This is sort of a hybrid, sun-grown-ish sort of wrapper. The binder is a Dominican binder, and the filler is a mix of Nicaraguan, I think a little bit of Dominican as well, and some even American Pennsylvania broadleaf. So I got a good light here. It takes quite a while to light these big cigars. The draw feels good, but it's not drawing too much smoke. I think I need to get it going a bit here, or maybe I actually do need to. I'm gonna have to cut it a little more maybe. But yeah, it doesn't feel tight, but it might just be a little bit too small. More smoke now. A little lighter off the bat than I thought, and this cigar just feels so unique in the hand. I'm going to put their link in the description for anyone who wants to check them out. Beautiful design on their website as well. These guys really know design. You know, by the judging of the half Corona that I had, they know their cigars too, because I actually genuinely really loved it. It was, yeah, really nice earth and sweetness. Wow, this is a pepper bomb so far. These first few puffs. There's so much pepper. I'm going to cut a tiny bit more because it's not drawing too much smoke. Solid cut again from the Cigar. And let's see. Not burning well at all. Yeah, I'm going to try to get this going, and I'll meet you guys back, I guess, halfway. This is so short, so we'll see how long this burns, but I'll meet you guys back halfway, tell you if I actually managed to get the cigar to burn or not. But yeah, I'll see you guys then. All right, so as this is such a short stick, I thought I'd do like a, you know, beginning part and an end part, because this is, yeah, this is gonna be a strange review if I do it in thirds. It's burning very well now. It took a while to get kind of started. You can see the ash is a little flaky there because I had to like light it a lot to get it even. But now it's performing very well, which you would expect from a German engineered cigar, right? I'm sort of having to double puff to get it to burn, but it's burning very fine. This is a very, I would classify this as a very like hearty cigar. It is, it's a lot of pepper, especially in the initial part. It was like really like coating the mouth with pepper. It's starting to subdue a little bit. There's heavy earth, mainly earth and spice in the beginning here. I'm going to say that it's full-bodied as well, for sure. Right now, they classify their cigars as sort of medium. I would say that their half Corona that I had first was certainly more medium. And this is definitely more full. The retrohale is actually very, very surprisingly smooth and pleasant. A lot more wood type flavors on the retrohale, sort of a oak cedar type wood. Some kind of hybrid of oak and cedar, which is very nice. It's maybe not the perfect afternoon cigar as I'm smoking it now, but I wanted good light, and you know, it's just such a nice calm afternoon that I might as well have a cigar, right? I think this is gonna take quite a while to burn, though. It's very like nub style. If you guys know nub, they make sort of cigars similar to this. They're very like thick and stout. They look like they're tiny, but they actually burn really slowly. I think I'm like 15-20 minutes in probably, and it's like not a lot, but I guess you're only gonna smoke this down to like here somewhere. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take it off the band quite soon. It's actually a really nice material, and it feels like it's gonna be very easy to take off. It's not like heavily glued or anything, which is always really nice, so you don't have to tear the wrapper. But I'm glad this is performing a lot better. It looks a little bigger now without that band. It's actually burning very well now, and the pepper's really subdued. But it's very earthy so far. If you like sort of heavier, earthy, darker flavors, this could really be a go-to if you like this, especially if you like this Vitola. No, this isn't my go-to Vitola by any means, but also just because it's such a rare size. But yeah, I'm actually starting to like the cigar a lot more now. The heavy pepper in the beginning isn't really my style, but it's starting to become a lot more well-rounded, well-balanced. So I'm gonna smoke, I guess it's only like another inch or whatever, and then I'll get back to you in the end, and not an inch, I don't even know US measurements, but a little bit longer, and then I'll get back to you guys in the end, and I'll share my final thoughts. See you guys then. Alright, so sort of approaching the end here. Technically just halfway through the cigar, but since it tapers here, it starts burning more quickly, and it's starting to burn a little bit hotter now than before. It's crazy to say this, but I mean, it's only burnt this little, but I'm over 50 minutes in, which is incredible. I don't know, it's burning so slowly, and this is what I've experienced with nub cigars as well. I don't know how they do it, if it's a rolling technique or if it's how they pack it, but it burns so slow. I mean, I'm definitely gonna get an hour of this if I choose to continue, depending how long I want to go. But it's such a petite cigar in its length, but it's just burning so slowly. Yeah, starting to burn a little more hot. As you can see, the burn line's been very nice. Ash is holding on, obviously it's such a short cigar, you'd expect it to. So good German engineering for sure, even though I think these are rolled in the Dominican Republic. A lot more complexity than I expected. The pepper that I was talking about in the first section of this cigar has faded pretty much completely. It's not very peppery at all, and it's not as earthy anymore, except for on the retrohale. It's more of a coffee type flavor, not really much sweetness at all. And I know they put this on the website, but and I didn't expect to actually get it, because sometimes I don't know, different palates take different things, and some people get tons of crazy notes. If anyone reads Half Wheel reviews of cigars, they sometimes get crazy notes, such as popcorn and, like, I don't know, all these, like, German chocolate cake, like really specific stuff. But there was a mint note here, sort of a little while ago, that kept coming through, and it was really quite prevalent, and I wasn't expecting it. So that was very interesting. And there's this sort of bean character, which I don't know how to describe, but it's certainly there, which is pretty unique. There's thick, dense smoke, both coming off the foot. It was coming off a lot more in the beginning. Now it's taken off a little bit, but a lot of thick, dense, chewy smoke on this thing, and I'd say it's very full-bodied. I think just the fact that it's so tapered allows the flavors to really become concentrated a lot more than the half Corona was. Even the Toro wasn't as concentrated. You just get this, I don't know if you guys have smoked Torpedos or Pyramid cigars or whatever you call them. There's just this intensity and concentration of flavors that you get. And I don't usually smoke those cigars too often. There's some classics like the Bolivar Belicosos Finos that are fantastic. But yeah, it's very interesting. So more complexity than I thought, for sure. It's very dark now, so more coffee coming through, as I might have mentioned. And construction is very good. So giving this a rating, as I said, I'm going to be very honest. And these ratings are, as always, are my personal preference, because I mean I can't rate based off what some people would so what other people would prefer. So I'm going to actually give this an 84. Which on my scale is lower than I think I've given another cigar. That's not to say the quality of the cigar is bad. It's very well rolled, as you can see. There's just a few things about it that isn't to my personal preference. It's very dark. It's very full-bodied and very concentrated flavors, which from a guy that smokes a lot of like medium-bodied Cubans, it's not what I usually reach for. It's a nice change of pace for sure. It's nice and cool to try these. I mean, they're very modernistic in both the way they look, the design, and like the shapes and everything. It's very cool, and I love to see new European brands come and pioneer in a market that's so heavily American and Caribbean dominated. The half Corona, I didn't do a video review of because I wasn't able to at the time. But that cigar, I'd say, was like an 88 to me. That was much better in my personal preference. So they do make really great cigars. They have like a double Corona, which if it's this dark, I probably wouldn't even be able to smoke because it's so big. But this is just a little too concentrated for me. The Vitola is not my favorite either, even though it's a looker for sure. It's very cool. I'd say an 84 is fair for me. It was decently enjoyable. I'd say after like a big meal with like a heavy, a peated whiskey is what I would pair this with. Like your Lagavulin or your Lafroig. Now, as I always like to mention, I'm not any sort of whiskey connoisseur by any means. But I just feel like a very smoky peated whiskey would go very well with this hearty, heavy cigar. But yeah, you're going to get like an hour out of these. So don't smoke this on like a short walk thinking this is going to be a very short smoke. I mean, you can stop smoking whenever you like, obviously, but this is a much longer smoke than you would expect. Big thanks as always for RVGN, German Engineered Cigars, for sending these in. Really cool to try new cigars. I like to say with cigars, variety is a spice of life. It's really awesome to just smoke different stuff. Even though I say I prefer medium-bodied Cubans, if I only smoked those, I would probably lose interest. It's always amazing to try new stuff. These are available in the US through small batch cigars, so you can actually get these in America. But in Europe, they're only available in Germany, as far as I know. So if you're German, you can get these easily. But you can check out their website if these flavors interest you. I think these are very good for the American market, as far as like what I know is popular in the US. A lot of these like thick flavor, like heavy flavored cigars are very, very popular there. Another thing to mention is there's not any tar buildup here, which is really nice. Sometimes on these tapered cigars, you can get a lot of tar buildup on the opening here, and it can be very unpleasant. This is very, very nice. So yeah, very cool to try. It's like heavily hitting me. It's a very strong cigar in my opinion, but very cool. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys try these cigars out, if you decide to test them. If you've had them, let me know what you guys think, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
The smoke, old stogies I have found, short but not too big around. I'm a man